Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to another Rush Rally 3 video. We are jumping into a little run that I did here for the live event. This is a new update. This is the first public live event. I think there were a couple test ones before this. With the initial update, you could kind of see them on the UI, I guess, but they have since been removed, so it all makes sense now. It all looks clear, and either way, you know, it was obvious from the start, just pointing it out. There looked to be some test events before, but we are in the first live event here, and I recorded this earlier. I actually made a separate video on this, and somehow it only saved like the commentary and not the actual like video of the app and stuff, and so I think I pretty much have to scrap that. So basically in that video I went a little more in depth, like going over the new live event system and stuff and whatever. Not that there's too much to go in depth about. It's basically just a multiplayer competition. Obviously you're not racing head to head against anybody. It's not like rally cross, like real time going against somebody, but you are competing against other real people on a leaderboard, which is super cool. And you just had to make like an in-app purchase to access it. You know, initially the game was, what is it, like $4.99 US, and the in-app purchase was $1.99 US, so not a big deal at all. And then I just touched on some other things, like if you play on multiple iOS devices, or if you play on iOS and Apple TV, which this video is actually playing on the Apple TV. Would highly recommend that, by the way, but iOS is great as well, no complaints there. Just saying, if I had to pick one, I'd definitely pick the Apple TV. But if you play on multiple devices signed into the same App Store account, then you can just go to like settings and restore purchases, and you won't have to buy it twice, or you can just buy it twice and you won't be charged twice. If that doesn't make sense, don't worry about it. If you ran into that situation, I'm sure you've figured it out by now. This was like a 5 or 6 day live event, and at the time of this recording, at least the voice part, there's probably like 19 hours left in the event. And so we ended up getting 3rd place overall. I haven't dedicated my life to this, going super crazy with it, but you know, I've done a handful of runs just back to back, trying to figure out how to be a little bit faster, changing my car around. I did actually end up copying the settings from, I think his name is Mike Servo in the Facebook group. I think he posted, I think he's the leader with that. His account name is like Nissan GTR or whatever it is. He's in the 1st place spot with that crazy time, and he posted a couple weeks ago his whatever you call it, like car tuning settings, and I believe on the leaderboard he was using this car. So you know, I'm a copycat. I just figured I'd go with that. You know, it is cool to see a handful of different cars on the leaderboard. You can see, you know, everybody's time and then what car they used to get that time. So people are using different cars. That's super awesome to see some diversity up there. You know, it doesn't necessarily matter what car you have per se. More matters how you tune it and how well you drive. I can say that the tuning does make a big difference. When I copied those settings, I was pretty much instantly about a minute faster overall through the whole event. That's 6 stages. It is a 6-stage event, if you don't know, if you're not a Rush Rally 3 player and you're just watching this video. But I'm assuming most people who are watching, at least a couple minutes into the video here, are actually Rush Rally 3 players. So you guys know that, but yeah, would highly recommend checking out those settings, joining that Facebook group. Obviously you can tap the little button right from the app to get into there, and yeah, it's working out for us so far, man. And even just like watching this back, or even when I was doing this here, I could pick out some sections here or there where I could be a little bit faster, you know, cut this corner a little bit more, do this a little bit different. And if you do all those things, I'm sure you could shave off, you know, seconds and ultimately like a minute or whatever. I think we're like a full minute off of that 1st place guy at the end of the day here. So we did end up in 3rd after this video here, what you're watching, 3rd overall at the end of all 6 stages. And I think since then we have been bumped into 4th place. I don't think there's any prizes or anything for winning live events. It could be a cool idea for future live events if the developer's watching by any chance, which is a super awesome thing. I've mentioned it in past videos on Rush Rally 3 as well. If you're just watching for the first time here, I did post one initial video, which, it's nothing in terms of YouTube, but it did well for me, I guess. My channel's been pretty much dead recently, but that video did decently well, just going over the initial release of Rush Rally 3, and I also talked how you could get it for free, at least if you're in the US. Maybe I'll touch on that later in this video, but check out that video if you want to see how to get it completely for free, or you could get the in-app purchase for free, or essentially you could just get $5 for free. Check out that video for more details. But I made that video, did a longer video playing all of the skill games, and then I've been doing a little series here and there, just whenever I get around to editing it. I got them all recorded, just doing like first place finish runs in all of the skill games, just making them their own separate video. And then once I get all of those out there and this live events video out there, I wanted to make this one a little higher priority since it is like a current ongoing event type of thing. So obviously it would make sense to post it sooner rather than later, but I'll have some more Rush Rally 3 videos coming. If you guys got suggestions, recommendations, definitely hit me up, let me know, whether comments or DMs on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. I'm on all the platforms, just at Gaming Willis, or / Gaming Willis, whatever. Literally every platform, like every platform except like Reddit maybe. So yeah, it's pretty easy to get in touch with me if you got any ideas or whatever. If you got any tips for me how to get better, there's definitely some things I could work on. Obviously, until we're number one on that leaderboard, there's always something to work on, but it's fun, man. Super awesome game. Love playing on the Apple TV here. Like I said earlier, could highly recommend it. You can just sit back. I've been mostly a mobile game player for a couple years now. If you check out my channel, if it's your first time here, I post a lot of other games, mainly like shooter games, like Call of Duty style type of games. That's generally my go-to, but I also really love racing games, and it's just a little bit hard maybe to find the racing games that I would enjoy on mobile. And so, as I upgrade in the future with, consoles and PC and whatever, definitely a good PC. Obviously, there's tons of good racing titles available there, and there's some other good ones on mobile, don't get me wrong. Obviously, Real Racing 3 is probably like the go-to thing to point at or whatever, just in terms of like graphics and quality and relatively realism, I guess. There's probably a word there I'm looking for, but it's generally realistic, and Rush Rally fits in that category, man. And I think I was gonna touch on it earlier. I think the story of this game is that essentially it's a one-man team with some developer experience in the video game world, software world, and just decided to create this little Rush Rally series. I haven't played any of the previous versions. I would actually like to go back and check those out. I think they're like maybe $2 or $3 on the App Store or something like that. And so obviously going with the premium price model as opposed to the freemium model, which is insanely common nowadays. Probably over, I don't know any numbers, but just based on my experience, probably 90% of the games on the App Store are the freemium model, or at least the super popular ones. So it is super refreshing to just, pay a couple bucks and just be done with it. At the same time, I'm sure the developer could probably make more money maybe doing some type of, in-app purchases, those loot crates, buying skins for things. Like you could buy like, maybe he'll develop it more to this point. You can buy like car liveries, different designs, different wheel designs. You could buy things like that. Maybe it will go that direction, maybe it won't. I have no idea what the intentions are. But as of right now, it's just super refreshing just to pay a couple bucks. You get what you pay for. You get the whole experience immediately, and then you just play and compete. And of course, there's stuff to unlock in the game. Like you have to earn these credits to buy different cars and buy upgrades for those cars. But once you do that, you're done with the game and you can just enjoy it. It's it's not too crazy like all of the games out there nowadays. We gotta, collect all the skins, and they're always constantly shoving limited time offers and special deals down your throat. So super refreshing in that sense. But I don't even know why I'm touching on this, but I wouldn't fault them if there's a couple in-app purchases in the future, like car skins or designs or car wheels, just aesthetic parts really. But yeah, basically one-man team, so got no problem throwing a couple bucks in to support. Super awesome just to see the work that is possible, man. This game really does look great. Taking out a couple pylons there. I love these turns. I love this track specifically with that like overcast fog. I'm sure there's a specific weather term for that, but I'm just a gaming YouTuber, guys. I don't know. But yeah, man, super awesome. Would highly recommend the game, man. If you guys are playing, let me know in the comments. If you're on that leaderboard, let me know your name if you want to, so I can not really put a face to the name, but kind of along those lines, And be sure to subscribe, man. More Rush Rally 3 videos coming. Check out all the other games on the channel. Like I said, post a lot of different ones. Trying to be more of a variety game playing YouTuber as opposed to like just playing Fortnite or something. Obviously, it's a bit harder to grow when you don't have a specialty or a specific niche. I kind of did have one for the last couple of years playing a game called After Calls, and I still play a little bit from time to time. Made a, it's relatively easy to make videos on that since I know a lot about it, so I posted a handful of videos on that recently and will continue to do so. But that was kind of my niche for the last couple of years, and just trying to grow beyond that has been very difficult. So, I'm just kind of in a 2-year period of trying new things, and been getting into streaming a little bit more. Once again, just gaming Willis, every platform, Twitch, Mixer, D-Live, a new platform called Loots Live. Maybe some of you guys know it, maybe some of you don't, but don't have any followers over there yet since it's brand new. If you want to check that out, super appreciate it. But yeah, man, it's this is an awesome game. Can definitely recommend it. There's another 3rd place finish on another stage. I think I got 4th in one stage. I'm not sure if we passed that already, but essentially when I was recording this, yeah, we must have passed it by now if we're on stage 6, but I got 3rd in all of the stages except for one, which I got 4th, and my goal when recording this was basically just to get 3rd place in each stage. And obviously if you get 3rd in every single stage, that's gonna put you in 3rd at the final, right? I think that makes sense. So yeah, I was just shooting for a 3rd, and since recording the gameplay here, I've been bumped out into 4th place. It would be cool just for personal satisfaction to get into that top 3, podium position, whatever. Obviously you want 1st out of anything in life, but I could deal with 3rd. I could deal with 4th as well. I'm not like crazy competitive or whatever. I'm not, crazy about it, about like just getting 1st. I'm more about enjoying the experience here and just playing an awesome game. But I just like improving my personal skill. It's definitely fun to do, so I would like to become a better driver, more consistent driver in Rush Rally 3 and probably real life as well. Luckily I got a good record. Don't have a racing record, but I'm doing alright so far, knock on wood. But it's just fun to personally improve. So once again, if you guys got tips or recommendations, let me know. Always working on it, just a little bit from time to time. Play as much as I can between all the other games and all the other things I do, but it's fun, man. It is super fun. Just finishing off the last stage here. Super awesome course, a lot of hairpin turns. Can easily get into trouble if you're a newer player here in Rush Rally 3, but if you're somewhat experienced, it goes from being challenging. I mean, it's always still a little bit challenging. You can get out of control at any point, really. Just 1 or 2 little mistakes in a row and boom, you're going flying into the trees, right? But generally once you're a little bit experienced, you can recover from a mistake or 2 here and there. But it's really when you make a mistake here and then a mistake after that, it starts to compound, and that's when you go flying off the course. But if you're experienced, it goes from more of a challenge to more of just a fun time, and Speaking of the developer, you can actually see him on the leaderboard, which is super cool just to have a game like that. Very, feels like a tight-knit, close-knit community, even though I've like never talked to anybody in this group. So I don't know, kind of weird, but super awesome, man. Would highly recommend it. You can get the game and the live events for like $7 US dollars total. Check out my previous video to see how you can get $5 for free. You can spend that on the game or anything you want online. So check that out, man. Check out all the other Rush Rally 3 videos. But there it is, man. 3rd place finish. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.